Hello everyone to a new episode of the Celeste series. My name is Zetho, and in today's episode we're going to be doing a B-side for Chapter 1. Now, I have stated in my community post that I will be doing a 2-chapter regular, then 2-chapter B-side, and then later on after we finish all chapters and chapters B-sides, we'll be doing the C-sides for each chapter. So right now I'm going to go ahead and go into our save. And start off with chapter 1, Forsaken City, B-side. And as you can see, the music is by Maxo in the credits, meaning yes, this is a remix. As you can tell, I am hyped for this because the remixes are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, I was a little too hyped to the point I forgot how I completed this beginning part of the B-side. But it's simple. All you need to do is deserve a dash by doing a couple of wall jumps. And there you go. And yeah, when I say this is gonna get harder, if I were to tell you about this, yeah, it would be extremely. It looks painful, but it makes sense. You just gotta be really quick with it and really smart with it when it comes to B-sides. So for example, you got like, it depends on how you go with it. So you can basically try to do a projectile wall boost. I don't know how it's called. But as you can see, I failed save a dash to do a safer option. However, that is possible if you're more careful. And I also forgot there were spikes up there. And I kind of stuttered, but hey, we are all not perfect, so we're going to finally have this part by actually dying. There, didn't I? Anyway, one thing I really love about the B-sides is not only is it hard, but it literally has a remix. And I'm sorry, I just had to let y'all listen to that part, because that whole section right there, I think that's one of my most favorite parts in the song. And in this section that's coming up, I love it too, so just sit back, relax, and take a listen to this part. Now this section right here, I remember playing it on the Xbox, and it was kind of difficult for me, but when I learned how to lock in, that's when it became really easy. But yeah, it's when you're new to this, it's really hard, but you're experiencing like sort of a breeze. But mainly B-sides, it's like, how do I put it? It's basically teaching you possible ways how to beat a level, in my opinion, but more of with skill instead of just, oh, let me just figure out how to do this with what I got. And you can like actually take advantage of what the game is giving out. For example, there are certain techniques that you can do. For example, technically pass that one without dashes, well, without using a certain amount of dashes, and it's a hard one, in fact. I think they call it C-Bob. I think it's basically Corner Bob, but abbreviated. And right here, I decided to use a neutral jump, the neutral jump skill where you basically preserve your stamina, which you can kind of see, and in return it helps you boost yourself up without consuming that stamina. It's not hard, but it's a little tricky. In the end of this video, I will provide a segment of how to do a neutral jump. Or let's go to a section of some sort of mod in the gym, strawberry gym, thank you, to show you how to do a neutral jump. They actually taught me how to do a neutral jump, and when I learned that, I will say it did help me get through certain parts of the game because I was like struggling with stamina. For example, in this part, well, I wasn't really struggling with stamina, I was just being too slow. But you can see how I try to preserve it right there. And how I try to do, yeah, right here. I did a little walk neutral jump where I tried to preserve stamina, but I was like, let me take this in a different approach, which is actually just trying to work with wild jumps. But as you can see, I failed to dash to save myself. It turns out you actually don't need a dash right there, because as you can see, at the end of this part, yeah, it's going to require a dash, and unfortunately I didn't make it. I had to actually save a little bit more stamina just to be able to hit that wall that I actually dashed over or jumped over, whichever one you feel like taking. And yeah, I actually could have dashed right there, but for some reason I didn't, and I actually died, and I was like, dang, I don't know why I didn't dash right there. I actually thought that when I was playing this, but it's just from here on just a little bit of depth until I actually managed to lock in. We're gonna ignore that one, but I will let you just watch the gameplay. I was so mad when I died there. And then the little approach. Now that I think about it, I actually really want to talk about how they include the Forsaken City leitmotif. I'm pretty sure leitmotif is basically a reference to a musical note, and yes, I finally passed it. You can see my celebration. And me dying. But continue on to what I was talking about leitmotif. Basically, that little section that I just where basically when that's literally the leitmotif to Forsaken City, I guess OST. I'm gonna call it Forsaken City OST. Basically, the original one was it's more, for the original one, it's more easing into its own. Again, I'm not a music expert. It's more easing into its own OST. But for this one, it's like it just has to stop, but it still kind of eases into it, so you could like know what's coming up next. And that's my favorite thing about leitmotifs as well. You can sort of change them, but you know where it's from, and it can still sound good depending on how you do it. That's if you actually like focus on making it sound good and not just actually using it just to have it there as like, oh, it's a reference. In this case, it's easily good because it's like a remix, but hey, they still could be even if it was just like not really if it was an excellent leitmotif, hey, I don't mind. some people can actually just think it's latency, but actually it's not. It's just like it sounds like it, but actually it's not. But I think this one is actually intentional since it's basically the first level and like the first remix. So if that is true, hey, they still cooked with the mix. And I actually like that they included it because it's basically like your first. It just feels still brand new in your first time, but somewhat familiar. This part was actually really hard. Since I don't make stuff. I was actually kind of struggling with this because I still, to this point, do not know how to technically complete it. I just got lucky there. That's why I did the jig right there. But yeah, that last section is actually kind of difficult. And remember this little section right here too, where later on in the series you see something exactly like this, but very narrow, I would say. So yeah, it's gonna get more painful. And another thing I want to include in here is how I am not dying from just jumping straight through these fights. Well, apparently there's like a secret mechanic where I don't know how to explain it, but basically if you're moving from underneath the spike, you won't get affected unless you're actively standing there for like a frame, a certain amount of frames. But if you like genuinely have boosting from underneath the spike, it won't affect you. You can't boost on top. I think you can boost on the side of the spike depending on the position you are in certain like situations. But yeah, you can take advantage of that dodge and underneath spike part, depending on your situation. In this case, I don't think Celeste, the original, much dash underneath spike technique, unless you're in like the Forsaken City or the Forsaken City, or basically I forgot the name of the second chapter, but basically the drainage part. I'm gonna regret getting that, and it's gonna be some easy name. I'm really gonna regret that. But again, we're not perfect and remember stuff Iris, so hey, I'm gonna lay down and lay low on me too. It's perfect, but it's whatever. I'm just happy, I don't know why. And I think we're at the end of this level. Yep. Now my favorite thing about the B-sides is this little section right there. This little instrumental musical section right here where we just, yeah, we're basically doing the B-side collecting part. Or in the original level, we collect the B-side tapes by going through this musical timing section. But this time in B-sides, you will see that at the end of each, I don't know why I did that. I tried to do I think it's a super. I think that was called a super. But yeah. In the end of the B-side sections, when you get to the Crystal Heart, those are Crystal Hearts by the way, you will go through like this timing musical section, which I actually really enjoy. I think my favorite one was the, and technically B-side, C-side remix, chapter 6. When going through it, I just like how energetic the music was, which you will see later in the series. But anyways, so let's hit our first red crystal art in the series. Sever the skyline. Sever the skyline. And that's it. Nothing really special, just a change in the text. And I like how they also make the you completed the level type B. And type B. And I was actually surprised reading the amount of deaths I had, which is 68. But that's the end of the episode. Like, share, and subscribe. Then I'll post notifications and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next episode on the B side. Peace out. perform a neutral jump, jump off a wall without pressing a horizontal direction. This gives less horizontal distance than a normal wall jump. Moving back towards the wall after performing a neutral jump allows you to ascend the wall without using stamina. Do not press a direction before jumping, as that will result in a normal wall jump instead. In this case, you must jump, and then the moment you hit that jump, you must immediately hit that direction. You can't just jump direction at the same time. You must jump direction, jump direction, jump direction. Neutral jumps usually give a consistent horizontal distance. They are sometimes used to set up pixel perfect horizontal move. Here, perform a neutral jump off the wall, then fall through the gap. Press yourself fully against the wall before jumping in order to properly set your horizontal position. And that's how you learn neutral jumping. Thanks for watching.